Hello and welcome to the allotment. I am doing a job today that I have been putting off for a really long time. I've got the whole day today, so I'm going to sort out this fruit cage. So as you can see, the fruit cage is a bit of a mess. I've got a gooseberry, I've got a currant, I've got raspberries that have just taken over. I've got a frame that I put up for something that I can't actually remember, which probably needs to come down. I've got some wooden containers here that are falling apart. I need to really clear this up and get it ready for next season. So where to start? You've got to start somewhere. Blueberry trees, blueberry bushes. This one actually looks like it hasn't made it. I've just tried to peel back some of the bark to see if there's any green, and I can't see any. I'm going to put it in the polytunnel with the other one, which looks okay. I'll show you that now. So this one looks a lot better. It's actually got green stems. I'm going to put them in the polytunnel and I can assess them probably tomorrow. I don't want to get sidetracked into looking after them and looking at them when I should be clearing this out, because I'm very good at getting sidetracked. So that's my plan. They're going to go in the polytunnel and I'm going to have a think about the next job to do in here. So I think what I'm going to go and do is do a bit of a litter pick in here. I'm going to grab an old compost bag and I'm going to get all of the litter out of here, because I've got a few like plant labels and things like that dotted around. So I'm going to do that. Okay, litter pick done. Now I need to have a really good weed in here and get rid of anything that definitely doesn't belong in here, and then I can assess what is actually growing here and how I want to grow in it next year. So I've cleared quite a lot of the floor now, but to actually see the wood for the trees, those raspberries need to be dug up. Now this is not a good place for them, so I'm going to take these out. I'm going to cut them down, and then what I'm going to do, I am going to dig them up and I'm going to put them in these wooden containers along the side. Literally just put them in just until I can work out if I want to keep them and where I want to keep them. This is going to be a little bit of a project now. I think it's turning into more of a project because I've just had another idea. I've got loads of pallet collars, so what I might do is put them along this whole side here, and it might be a case of me actually digging up the gooseberry and the currants, adding some compost to the pallet collars and replanting them. So I think I am going to actually end up doing that. So this is going to be a bit of a bigger project. I'm so glad I started this now. First things first though, get those raspberries out. So I've cleared quite a lot of that now, and over here I've probably got about 8 or 9 raspberries that have got some nice roots on them, which I will keep. There's still some more over here, but I probably won't end up keeping them because they spread like anything, and I think I've got enough, especially because I haven't got much room. There's only a few places on the plot where I could potentially put these. If you remember, right at the back of the polytunnel, I've got 2 beds of raspberries there as well. So this is only a maybe. I might end up giving these away. But now I need to think about how I'm going to get out this big post. So I've got my spade, which I've just covered with raspberry foliage. But anyway, I've got my spade here, and this is the only one we've got down here. I took the rest back home, ironically. So I'm going to see if I can dig this out. Now be honest, who thought that I wouldn't be able to do that? I've just moved you because the sun's behind you, and I think you'll probably be able to see a bit more, because it's very strange because it's really dark but I need my sunglasses, which is very contradictory, but hopefully you'll be able to see a bit more now. So I'm just going to carry on clearing the ground. Basically everything now is just going to be composted. It's basically all just like grass, basically what it is. So I'm going to dig all that up, put that in the wheelbarrow, that can all be composted, and then I can have a think about the next step. So that's now looking actually quite clear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the pallet collars that I've got, and I'm going to line them up on this side, see how many I can get in there, because my plan is to have them all along that side. I think I could definitely get 3. Let's see. Go that way, but then we wouldn't have much of a pathway. But would that matter? Would that matter? Probably not. I want to get rid of those things that side anyway. It might mean that we can definitely get 3. Okay, let's move it over a bit. There's one. Not sure if the third one is going to fit, so I'm not sure if it'll fit in that corner. Oh, let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm going to go and get another one and see if it fits. It fits. It actually fits. I'm so pleased with that. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the gooseberry in that one at the end, and then I have a currant here and a currant here, and I'll see how they get on. I can always underplant them with things. I don't know whether to just keep these in here and maybe just have them as strawberry beds, because actually now it's like this, I quite like it. What I am going to need is some wood chip down here, but unfortunately my wheelbarrow, it's looking okay now like this, but it's got a bit of a puncture, so I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'll get Vince to fix that. The other thing I need to do is cable ties, so I need some cable ties to just keep that up. But oh my goodness, doesn't that look so much better already? So what's next? Next step, I'm going to get some compost and I'm going to replant these, and then I'm going to think about what I want to do here. I think I'm going to move the strawberries from that bed outside and put them in here. Need lots of compost. I'm going to go and get it tomorrow. I'm going to bring you back, so stay tuned. Meet me here tomorrow and we will finish this fruit cage. So it is a new day, but it is actually 2 days since I was last here, because it absolutely poured down yesterday. So yesterday I went and got the compost from B&Q, but I didn't bring it down here because it was absolutely pouring. So I'm down here today. I've just lugged 2 bags of compost on my trolley from the car. There's one more still in there, but I'm gonna get on with this. Maybe use the 2 that I've got and then go back for the 3rd, because I don't feel like lugging anything at the moment. So what I thought I'd do first is dig up the bushes that I've got in here. So that would be this gooseberry and then the 2 currants as well. And then once they are dug up, I will fill the beds with compost and replant them. So I've dug the gooseberry up. It has got really long roots, which I've managed to keep all intact. Now this just shows this gooseberry is really spread out and started to really root down. I only planted this the end of last year, so this was only its first full year in the ground. It'll be absolutely fine to move it because it's heading into dormancy now. It's sort of around the mid of November now. I think we're on the 10th now, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know what date it is. We're in November anyway, so at the end of autumn this will be absolutely fine. If it was a bigger bush, I would have cut it down a bit, given it a prune, just to give it a bit more chance of success moving it. But this is quite a new bush. It will be absolutely fine. So I'm now going to dig up the 2 currants. So as I'm digging up this currant, you can see this root here is really strong, and you can see a lot of bindweed roots around it as well. So I'm going to try and remove them as I go. These ones, bright white. But what you can see is that root there, we want to try and dig that up in its hole as well. So that bit there is still attached into the soil. So I'm going to try and dig round. And that's why I'm using a fork as well. I'm going to try and least amount of disturbance as possible. I'm going to dig that up. So now all the beds are clear. The currants and the gooseberry have been removed. It is now all completely clear. I'm going to add some of my compost that's nearly ready just to the bottom to try and fill these up a bit, and then I'm going to put a bag of each, 1 bag per pallet collar of multi-purpose compost, and that should fill these beds, hopefully. So I'm just going to show you the quality of the compost that I've got in there. The top bit looks quite dry, so you can't really see what it's like, but I've taken the big chunks of cardboard out as well that I've put on top. But basically, I'm quite happy with that. It is still quite chunky, but I think it'll be absolutely fine for the bottom of these beds, so that's what I'm going to use. To say these compost bags are so heavy. I actually really struggled getting them into the car yesterday, and even just getting them off the shelf. They are kept outside in B&Q, and it had been raining, so I don't know if they'd got soaked through, but I've really struggled with them today. Anyway, first one's in place. I'm going to empty that out and get the gooseberry planted. Gooseberries in, now for the other 2. So the red currant is now ready to go in, all the compost in. I actually found the label to this one and I've just looked up the variety, and it does get 1 to 1.5 meters tall and wide. So I'm just going to put that in the middle there, the same as the gooseberry. I need to go to my car and get the last bag of compost. I'm not looking forward to it. Okay, let's get it over with. I'm going to go and grab it. Doesn't that look fantastic? It is looking so much better already, but these beds on the other side are not looking too good. So I'm going to use this black fabric that I got from B&Q when I was getting the compost, and I'm going to reline them. I was going to get rid of these, but I'm going to keep them now. I'm going to put my strawberries in them. I'm going to reline them. I've got my staple gun with me, and I'm going to get them looking good as new. So I've got my staple gun, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this roughly because these aren't going to last forever. They're in pretty bad condition anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to push them in, and I am going to staple the fabric just to the top like this, because in the other ones and in this bed the fabric had just pulled down and worn away. And like I say, I don't know how much use we're going to get out of these, so I am just going to do it like that to the side. So that will definitely do. That will probably keep them going for maybe this year, maybe even next year. I mean, they're quite old now and they are really starting to fall apart. You can't see from this angle, but underneath the boards are, I mean, look, I don't know if you can see that. You can see that board is literally falling down, but I think I could get a little bit more use out of it. So I'm not going to do these two today because this one's got the raspberries in it. I don't know what I'm going to do about it, and this one's got quite a lot of soil in it, and again, I don't know where I'm going to move that to, because I would like to put some fresh compost in these ready for the strawberries to be transplanted into them. But I'm glad I've got that one done, and I know that that is going to work absolutely fine. Having said that, there is one more thing that I would like to do today. I think the wood chip just finishes it off, and I'm so pleased with this area now. I'm over the moon with how the fruit cage has turned out. Thank you so much for watching me today, and I will see you again soon.